An injury time winning goal at Wembley. It can only be one game, can't it?
Simon Howarth, Bradshaw. Lydia's come across. No control with the arm, says the referee, as Lavin gets it away. It's Rodgers! Paul Rodgers has won it! Surely in injury time, it's a goal that's almost like a golden goal, and Paul Rodgers sends the Wigan hordes into raptures.
Well, Rob, you have to say what a ball this is from Carl Bradshaw, starting this move off. This is heartbreaking for Millwall. What a great ball that is. Liddell using his experience, getting in behind Nethercott, whips a great ball across. Now you think Millwall have got it clear, and Rodgers appears in front of Cahill, drives it low, and that is the winner. Superb on his left foot, keeps it low. Roberts no chance, bottom corner, and Wigan have shocked this vast Millwall following. Roberts composes himself, drills it, hits the target, and that's a winning goal, 1-0. Superb strike, great ball from Bradshaw and Liddell, and that's the winner.
Paul Rodgers, with his second goal of the season, has surely deflated Millwall. And Wigan have done it! They are Wembley winners in the last Auto Windscreen Shields final of the 20th century. And Paul Rodgers, with an injury time goal, is the man who's done it. Andy Liddell set it up. Millwall players might argue that he controlled it with his arm in the build-up to that goal. But it was a superb finish from Paul Rodgers to give Wigan a hard-earned victory. Congratulations from Dave Whelan, his chairman. The presentation by George Best. It's Wigan's trophy. It's Wigan's year. The heaviest trophy in domestic football at some £33. But Carl Bradshaw still summons the strength to show it to those delighted supporters. And Colin Greenall, a man of the match, sterling performance from him. You can't feel prouder for a man who's played over 750 senior games with his 8 clubs and who now will end his playing career on a real high. And Paul Rodgers, the man who ensured that Greenall and the rest would be picking up their awards, is coming to the head of the queue to collect his medal as well.
Yeah, he took his chance well, Rob, just nipping in front of Cahill and driving. It must have been on his mind, time running out, the whistle's about to be blown, on his left foot, drilled it low. Bestie just says, well done, pal.
And he's had a word there with Ray Mathias too. Delight as well for the Wigan chairman, Dave Whelan, the man who's pumped in such a lot of money.
The 1999 Auto Windscreen Shield final, fantastic moment in the history of Wigan Athletic, and I'm delighted to say that joining Neil Rimmer and myself this morning is a hero of Wembley that afternoon, Paul Rodgers. Morning to you, Paul. Thank you for joining us.
Pleasure.
Morning to you as well, Neil.
Morning, Paul.
How vivid are those memories, Paul, looking back? We had a chat off camera, but they must feel like they only happened yesterday.
It is frightening, yeah, it's that 14 odd years ago now, but I haven't seen that for a long time until my lad dug it out from the loft to watch the other day actually. But just looking at the lads, looking at the players there, it does feel like yesterday, with all the football memories, it just floods back. We had a really good time at that time in the Wigan story really. It was the beginning of it a little bit, but yeah, very, very fond memories of that.
It's like a 92nd minute goal, Andy Liddell chasing it down into the corner. What's going through your mind when he puts it back into the area?
Just get in the box and try and score and not put anyone through an hour and a half of pain. Because the game was awful. It wasn't a great game, to be honest. They were a youngish side. I think we were always in control of the game, had the more experienced players, but it was one of those Wembley finals that never really got going. I think we didn't look like scoring, they didn't really look like scoring. It did look like it's going to be an extra time effort, but as I say, Lids chased it down and got fortunate with where it got headed out, but I think the Stuart Nethercott headed out, and just one of those ones, you just get lucky sometimes being in the right spot, so it's a good time to score, certainly.
Absolutely, some good pals from that team as well. We were watching them going up and getting their medals. Colin Greenall, man of the match.
Yeah, it's funny how time flies with it, but Colin obviously was a a linchpin of our team. Been around the area playing football up in the northwest for a long time. I think at that point he was 34, 35, but he was just a ball magnet. You know, a fantastic lad. You know, he was the captain of the team. Obviously, kept everyone in control. The school teacher of the team. But no, he fully deserved his man of the match performance that day.
Do you remember where you were then?
Yeah, I wasn't able to watch it because I was over in Australia. First thing I'd say is I'm impressed you've still got a video recorder. If you've got that down from the loft, you're one of the few. Yeah, but I was over in Australia. I didn't even listen to it because I think it was the middle of the night or something like that. But woke up next morning and was made aware of what had gone on. It was once again another fantastic achievement for the club and another step forward. And it was great. I'm sure he's enjoyed the day. It was a great midfielder's goal. Don't know how many you got of them, but it was perfect timing.
So you were saying it's reminiscent of what happened earlier this year. That last minute goal. That the similarities are fantastic, and it's always the way when that last minute goal goes in. It's a pile-on, isn't everyone? That emotion just explodes, and everyone's got to run to the goal scorer. Yeah. What's it like being at the bottom of that pile? It must be pretty scary.
You don't feel it at that time. It's that joy thing. And as I was saying before, I was at the cup final when, you know, Ben scored that last minute winner, and it's just in a better time to score, and it's it's a great feeling. Obviously much different for Ben because it's the FA Cup final. You know, that was only an auto windscreen final, but still a great day and good memories for us.
You're back here today, back at the DW Stadium as it's called now. Tell us what brings you back here.
I'm working now for Brighton. After I left Wigan, I signed for Brighton in '99. So I had 4 years playing, signed a 2-year deal, and again, it was the start of a little bit of the Wigan story really for us. We'd first moved back to Brighton from ground sharing at Gillingham. Nicky Adams was the manager. He had to try and build a new squad. I was fortunate enough to captain that team. So we won the League 2 Championship, League 1 Championship. When I finished playing, joined the commercial team. So still involved with football, but without thinking I might get sacked every 6 months.
Enjoying it though?
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, obviously I had a career before I started playing football. I didn't turn pro till I was 26, so I was working up in the city with a financial background. I was keen to get involved in the administration side of it. More job security than anything really. I've moved around. I was only a pro 12 years, lived in 6 different houses. So it's one, you just want to find some roots for kids. The kids were just sort of getting to school age. But the Brighton story's been fantastic. We eventually got the ground after 8 years of trying. When I signed for Brighton, the guy said, "You're probably playing the new stadium in 2 years." So it took 12. And I have actually played on it now, but only in a charity game. But it's a very similar story. We're very fortunate with, our chairman, has backed, Dick Knight when I was chairman, when he was chairman before, fought the fight to get the land and everything and the stadium sorted, and our chairman's taken up the reins, similar to Dave Whelan has here, and built a fantastic stadium. And our fan base has come back. We had a missing generation of supporters for sort of 8-10 years, but they've come back in droves, so we're very, very fortunate really.
What's it like coming back here, walking back into the stadium? Have you been here many times?
No, I've only been back, came back once when I was playing for Brighton, but unfortunately I was suspended for that one. So I was chewing, because obviously wanted to play here. When we were at the training ground, and Dave Whelan used to take us round when it was a building site. These are the dressing rooms, and this is what it's going to be like. You're really excited about moving to the new facilities. So it's great to come back actually, and the journey in from the motorway. We used to 3 or 4 of us used to travel in together. Mickey O'Neill and Gareth Griffiths and Andy Porter from when we were living down in Holmes Chapel Way. But no, it's nice to be back.
Looking forward to it today as well. It's a long time, it seems, since we were here against Huddersfield, international break, away games, the trip to Russia. It's good to be back home. Yeah,
it is. Home form's been fantastic, hasn't it, this season? We were commenting before about how good it has been. It's built up a little bit of a reputation at home, and hopefully it continues today. But it seems like a long time since we've been here.
Yeah, well, Owen Coyle's certainly looking forward to the game after that 2 week off with the international break. We caught up with him Fanatics player earlier in the week, and here's what he had to say ahead of a busy fixture schedule once again for Wigan Athletic.
In terms of the rest and recovery, it's been great for the ones that have stayed behind. We obviously had a number of players away in international duty, and they'll all return at some point today. So we'll get the group back as a whole tomorrow, which will be great, and then we go from there. So yeah, I mean, we've been through such a hectic period in terms of games, and we now move into the most hectic of them all. So we have to make sure that the players we have are fit and available and ready to play their part for Wigan Athletic. We want to start now going into this period of games the way we finished, and that's by winning games and moving up the league, and Saturday affords us the opportunity to do that.
What's the latest squad news that you have for us?
Well, the squad news is obviously we have a couple coming back in. Obviously Jean Beausejour, who had missed the last couple of games, was able to play with his country in the 2 games against England and in Brazil. So we'll ascertain as to where exactly Jean is with that as well. James McLean managed to play as well with Ireland as well. James McArthur's back, and obviously the Honduras lads as well. So yeah, we're looking squad wise. Yeah, we're certainly 1 or 2 improvements on that. Scott Carson started to do some light training Saturday, probably too soon for him, but he's certainly moving in the right direction to start to be able to come back into the squad in the next week or so.
Owen Coyle, they're looking forward to today's game, as we are of course as well. Paul, how much have you seen of Wigan Athletic this season? What kind of game are you expecting today?
I haven't seen them live, obviously seen a few of the highlights on the Saturday packages. Expected to be a good football game. You know, Owen likes to pass the ball around. Oscar's come in, taken over from Gus, and we're following a very, very similar pattern. We probably play a little bit quicker than we did previously under Gus. You know, the build-up isn't so slow. You know, we do get the ball forward a little bit quicker. So expecting a good game. I think our guys generally have travelled quite well this season. You know, we've had some decent results on the road. So it should be an entertaining game. And you know, it's one of the ones. If we were talking yesterday, if you come away from here with a point, I think we'd be quite happy with that.
Good form coming into. I think it's back-to-back victories for yourselves coming into this one, as it is for Wigan Athletic.
Yeah, it's a funny league, you know, it's a very tough league, and you can look at it 1 week after a poor result and think, oh, you know, you're getting close to the bottom. Like, we're now a couple of victories on the spin and you're looking at a playoff push. So it is very, very tight. But I think we're probably where we are really on merit. We've got quite a few players out injured currently. I think he's got 7 missing. 3 of them are probably certain starters, but which will improve us. So over the next 3 or 4 weeks, you can have a real judge of where we're going to finish in the league, I think.
Flip side of that is that we've probably got players coming back into it now, Neil. Certainly with the likes of Grant Hart, he made a great impact at Yeovil a couple of weeks ago, and the 2-week break, it's not been kind to us so far this season. We've not really done well on the back of the international games, but you get a feeling that today, with things clicking, with things gelling together as they seem to be, it could be a good afternoon for us.
Yeah, it's funny how it's gone really, because we've had so many games with the European things that I think people expected after those games we'd struggle, but it's kind of gone the opposite way. Lads just seem to want to play, and the more games we play, the better we become. The breaks haven't helped us, as you say, but things are starting to gel now. We look strong at the back, don't we? And the lads at the back are all clicking together. Managers realising, working out who his best team is, and no, it's starting to look really good. The lads up front, it was great to see, as you say, Grant come off the bench. He looks really sharp. That kind of revitalised him a little bit. That, you know, coming off the bench, he turned the game for us. Mark Anton, he did really well up front. He led the line. It was tough for him because they had a couple of big lads at Yeovil. But once we got over that, I think we're looking quite strong now. We look at a decent unit.
No international break now until March in the build-up for the World Cup next summer. 11 games between now and the end of December, but we're averaging about 2 games a week now with those European commitments. But credit to the manager, he wants to progress, he wants to get through the group stage, he wants to keep pushing up this table. We find ourselves 2 points off the playoffs with a game in hand today. It's going to be testing, but you know, it's going to be exciting at the same time, isn't it?
It certainly is, and as I say, the more games we play, the better we become. It's that the team's starting to come together, the squad is. You know, like we keep saying, the lads who were here from last season, they're getting used to how the manager wants things done. The new lads have come in, they're all starting to bed in now. And with the European games, it's given them opportunity to try different players in different positions. And like we've seen with James Perch, he's been fantastic at left back. He's really settled in there. Who'd have thought he would, with the other positions he's played, have found it a comfy position for him. So no, it is. It's looking great. The more games we play, the better we look. And fortunately, we've got a squad that you can do that with.
By that time in March, by that time we go for another 2-week break, we'll kind of know where we are, what we're gunning for, and what our expectations and ambitions are for this season, won't we?
Yeah, well, obviously, you know, there's still a lot of football to be played at that point, but you feel if you're in with a chance and you're near the playoffs and possibly in the playoff positions, that's where we'll want to be, and that's where I think everyone expects us to be. You know, it's a tough game for us today, but once again at home, you've got to feel we've been strong here, and you know, we look to go away and get a victory.
It was a heartbreaking end to the season for both teams, really. Last term, Brighton reaching the playoffs, knocked out by Crystal Palace. What are the expectations this time around? Because like ourselves, it's a season of transition, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it is very much so for us. Obviously, with Gus departing, Oscar coming in, didn't really have a lot of time pre-season to work with the team, you know, because of the late appointment. So a lot of the pre-season work, unfortunately, he was doing in the first league game. So whereas normally you get a chance to have 6-7 weeks playing against non-league teams, getting your pattern of play, we were doing that against Burnley, Leeds in the first few games. So it's a disadvantage for us there. But I think the way he's settled down now, I think we've got cause for optimism, certainly.
Two similar stories, really, aren't they? But slightly different, because we felt the same with our team. You know, the managers had to build a new squad with you know, the transfer window when it opens and closes. You've got players who disappear at the wrong time for us. But we've been able to put things together, and you just feel we're coming through it now.
Yeah, you'd normally have
strong.
Coming out from the Premier League, there's normally a hangover point where everyone's despondent about getting relegated. And I think ours was felt like that at the start of the season also. I know we only just missed out on promotion. It felt like a relegation, really. You know, you used to get so close to what's judged to be the promised land, whatever. And we'd been really good up until that game, and put a good run of form together. Go to Crystal Palace for the first leg, get a draw, and then whether that's a psychological thing that you've done the work, and we just didn't get going on the day, and so it's a real disappointment, especially to lose against Palace. But we've had the hangover of that since the first 5-6 games. Certainly, it looked like everyone was still a little bit, you know, down and despondent. The supporters, the players, everyone. But I think we've turned that corner now. So,
was it still regarded as a success last season? Is it hard to look at it as a success with what happened in the end and that deflation of not reaching the Premier League? But on the whole, when you take a step back, you still look at it as a successful
we
platform?
did internally. We did. You know, you've got to be realistic of your expectations. A lot of it obviously is down to playing budget. You've got to look at that. But we had a fantastic year. You know, a fantastic couple of years. You know, finished 10th and then ended up finished 4th or 5th last year. So each time you're making progress, and that's, you know, you just got to make small steps. It's difficult sometimes to make giant leaps, and whether you've been, I think you're always ready to go to the Premier League because of the finances that surround it. But you know, I think,
especially in the commercial department.
yeah. The commercial money sort of pales a little bit once you get the cheque for 60 million. But you know, we've got to take small steps. Expectations this year, I think if we're around the sort of playoff shake-up in the last couple of games again, you know, it's another good year for us.
What did you find is the key to success in this division? I think we're kind of finding that level now. We're straightening out, and we're finding that form and a bit of consistency in there. But what during the course of last season was the kind of overriding factor that got Brighton into those places, do you feel?
The overriding thing with a lot of teams is having a goal scorer. You know, we've dominated so many games last season and also this season without finishing games off. You know, when you get a chance of going 1 up, 2 up and killing games, we were not doing that. And you always leave yourself liable to a counter-attack or a team getting into the game. The difficulty with us is, you know, we've got a big crowd at the Amex. If teams get a goal, they just, you know, block it up. 2 banks of 4, or, you know, stick 5 in the middle. It's really difficult to break down. You know, the key to it is having someone a little bit different to create something, which we've got in Andrea Orlandi, when he plays, very good footballer. He's been missing all of this season. Loire Zenga, he's been injured, so he gives you something a little bit different. But it is ultimately the goal scorer that Joao did for us last year.
Similar for us, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds so familiar, doesn't it?
We've been through ourselves. We played really well, but we've just not scored, have we?
No.
We've hit the bar. We've had cleared off the line, but we've just not
Maloney
had that.
injured, Grant
That's
Holt,
right.
Mark
Unfortunately, the lads at the back have been great.
Yeah.
You know, and then Grant and Fortune came together really first time for a while the weekend, and things seemed to click again. You know, but you could see that Yeovil game going a similar way. Really, you know, we just banging on the door.
Yeah.
Eventually scored one late on, and let's hope we go on from there, really. But
they're
that's how it's
very
been the same.
similar teams. You know, we've got a very solid. You know, the back four have been good for us. You know, not conceded too many goals. So you know, it is that little bit different. Is the key to unlocking games. And you can see it. I'm sure you guys see it. You miss a chance, and you're just waiting for them to go and pull a deflection out or a worldie. And that's the great thing about this league. There are some very good individual players playing for lots of different teams that can change games. So it's an exciting league for us.
We said week after week in the last couple of seasons that the first goal in the Premier League was often so pivotal and so vital when teams got a chance to suss each other out, and there was a little bit more of a tactical battle on it. But the Championship this season, we've seen more than most of that opening goal. It means so much, as Paul said. Teams start to close up, they make life difficult for you, and if you get your nose in front, you're in a really strong position. Yeah,
you see that particularly here. You know, teams come, they want to get that goal, and then, as you say, they get the 2 banks of 4 or even of 5 in midfield, and then just shut up shop. And we found that to be a bit of a problem. Fortunately, the lads at the back are not conceding goals. It gives that opportunity to get other teams, particularly here. They kind of play on the back foot a little bit. I think, you know, they kind of see what we've got a little bit more. You know, we've got this reputation, players with big reputations as well. So teams are sitting back straight away. If they can sneak something, then they really shut up shop. But fortunately, we've done well here, and we seem to have the problem away from home more than anything.
Well, one man who will be looking to open the scoring for Wigan after trying to get our noses in front today is Grant Holt. We caught up with him earlier in the week on Latics Player. He spoke about the partnership that's just beginning to form between himself and Mark Fortuna.
Yeah, well, obviously, I think it's you get to know everyone. You get to know different things, and don't be under illusions how hard it is when you bring 12 people in the summer to try and get everyone to click, and it takes a while. And when you're not playing with each other week in, like I've been out for nearly 8 weeks, and he's been out for so long, and Nick Powell's been playing up front, and Nick's more of an in behind him, but he can play up there if he wants to. So I think as you see in training, you start to learn what different people do, and I think that's why I said to someone, well, a lot of people, about a month or so ago, that you'll see the best of Wigan in end of December, January, and I'm sure, I still believe that when everyone clicks and everyone knows what each other do, that's when you'll see the best of us.
Grant Holt there talking about that partnership with Marc-Antoine Fortuné, but it was the difference, wasn't it, at Yeovil a couple of weeks ago? We had shots cleared off the line, Marco Brighton hitting the crossbar, and you just felt it needed that little something extra to break through, and Grant provided a great cross from Marco.
He certainly did. He came on and straight away his first touch changed the game for us. But it was great to see the 2 players up front. You know, you see a lot of teams just play 1 man up front, try and get bodies around him, but you know, the manager realised we needed to get someone from the game. We deserved to, so he changed it, put the 2 lads up front, and straight away it was effective. And you know, it'd be interesting to see if he goes with that again. You know, if he can work the 2 in there, it'd be certainly a real attacking force if you do that. It obviously puts a bit more responsibility on the midfield lads, you know, to do that defensive role. But it's nice to see, certainly with Nick Powell behind them as well. They've got so many attacking options there. It's you know, it puts strike fear into other teams, I'm sure. The
knee injury that he picked up against Middlesbrough, it seems a long time ago now. He's not been back in the team an awful lot since recovering, and it will take its toll. And I suppose that touch, that rhythm on the pitch is what he's still trying to find back, but he's looking little by little like that player that we saw in pre-season and in the first couple of games of the campaign, you know, away at Barnsley as well. A great performance by him that afternoon. He's looking as though he's getting there now, and that goal, the way he created the goal for Fortuna, back to goal, shrugs off the defender and whips it across the face. That's Grant Holt. That's what we want to see. That's what we're expecting to see, isn't it? Yeah, even when he wasn't quite back on it. You know, he's still carrying the injury when he was playing. He's still causing problems for teams, working hard, but just didn't have a game in him. You know, he's getting 40, 50 minutes, 60 minutes, but now he seems to be sharper, seems to be, you know, ready to play, and you know, he's going to cause teams a lot of problems. It's great to have him back. He's obviously, when you're getting a bit older, it takes a bit of time to get over these injuries, as we know. But you know, he looks like he's fitter and sharper again now. And as I say, it's fantastic news for the manager to have that option. Certainly coming off the bench, but if he can start him as well, it'll put pressure on other teams. I was going to ask you, what does he go with today, Owen Cole? Does he start the 2 of them together? He's at home, so the emphasis is on Wigan Athletic, I suppose, or does he mix it around because you've got all Brighton who's fit? Nick Powell, who you mentioned, Callum McManaman, James McLean. That's right. So many options. It's difficult. Yeah, it is, and that's a problem he'll be pleased to have. It's got a lot of options there. I'd love him to play the 2 there. You know, if they could work together up front, I think it'd be fantastic.
he hasn't done it so far, so I'm not sure he'll try it just yet. You know, it's obviously a tough game today, so it's a bit of caution to win. You're playing with 3 lads who are attacking, who have been the attacking option. So whether he goes with that, I don't know. Be interested to see what he does at the back as well. Whether he just sits someone in front of the defence and counters that. So it's great that he's got these options, and he does surprise us week in, week out with who he plays. So I think, but personally, it'd be great if he could play the 2 lads up front. It would certainly give Brighton something to think about.
Is Grant maybe one of the players, and we've mentioned a few of the attacking threats that Owen Coyle has, that Oscar Garcia will be looking at, be wary of this afternoon, Paul?
Yeah, as Neil was saying, he's one of the centre forwards that just is a physical presence. You know, he keeps defenders occupied. You can use him. He retains the ball, and that's, you know, it's key in this league. You know, if you can get the ball into the front and keep it there, you know, and then play other players into the game, I think that's a key in the division. But he will certainly be one of the players that Oscar and the guys have been working on all season.
Is there a similarity there with the way Grant plays? You know, he's powerful, he's uncompromising, he'll bully defenders, he can score, he knows where the back of the net is, and he can bring in players around. So similarities there between himself and one of your former teammates, Graham Jones, who you enjoyed playing alongside.
He's a great guy to play with. You know, he knew with him up front, he had him and Andy Saville on point, and Simon Howarth another time. You just knew the ball was going to stay in there. You know, if you delivered the ball in the box, he would be brave enough to get in there and get a chance or get a shot away. Or you can play off him. You know, he's big, very powerful, but very strong, always up for it every week. Give him the ball and he'd retain the ball and just let you squeeze up a little bit, you know, and let you have a platform to play. So, yeah, he's a great guy to play with.
They're great to have as midfielders. They're the type of forward you want. You know, sometimes you just need to get up, and even if you're not the best of passes up to them, you know they're going to get hold and do the best for you, so you can get around them. It takes a lot of pressure off the defenders and the midfielders, and that's something we haven't had. You know, at patches this season, the ball will go up front, and it just comes straight back. Whereas with Grant playing, it's obviously getting up there. If he's not getting himself, he's certainly putting defenders off, and Graham Jones was just the same.
You're still in touch with Graham? He's obviously with Roberto now, another of your teammates at Everton. Are you still in touch with the pair, with many of the lads that you played alongside?
Yeah, I was saying to Neil before, there's a group of lads you stick with at most clubs, sort of thing. So I've been in touch with Graham, obviously, and Roberto in their run to the cup final and everything last year. Gareth Griffiths, who we played with here, Michael O'Neill, you know, all good lads. But it's funny how you lose touch with people. You know, you keep in touch with 3 or 4, but football's such an evolving thing all the time. It's really difficult to be in touch with all of them, but I still speak to those guys, and they've did a fantastic job here, and hopefully, you know, they'll do a great job up the road as well.
How difficult is it as well going from the pitch to the stands once that playing career finishes, and it's a kind of behind the scenes role as you and Neil are doing now, and you'll know that, how you honest as well. How difficult is it going from the pitch to the stands?
No, it's easy. It's horrible. It is, you know, when we're very fortunate that we've been in a position that whatever is just the best job you can ever do, and whatever you do when you finish playing professional football, there's nothing ever going to come close to the feelings that you had and the times you had and the way you get looked after. And, you know, it's very cliched, but everyone wants to be a footballer, and we were no different when we played. In a very, very privileged position, and when you finish, there's a real gap, a real void. But you know, you have to just adjust with it, try and find a different career. You know, I've been fortunate to stay in the industry as you have. And you don't want to come out of it, to be honest. And you know, it's a great platform. And although it's never be as good as playing, it's pretty close, so it's good.
It's not easy.
No, it's not. It's you know, every match day, you know, you just wish you were getting ready to play. There is nothing better than playing football. You know, even when you stop playing, if you hadn't been getting paid to play football, you'd still play football. That's how good the game is. And then you've got the extra special team bonding and behind the scenes. But it's nice to still be involved to some degree. It's like the second best thing.
Was that the most famous goal you scored, Wembley? Is that the standout moment for you?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's that thing, playing at Wembley as a kid and scoring's a fantastic thing. And, you know, last minute winner at Wembley. It sounds pretty good, but no, it was a great moment for us. We were on a good roll of form at the time, but as an important goal, it probably was, to be honest. Yeah.
Well, we've got a chance to maybe not relive the moment exactly, but we've got a little game that we can play at the end, which Neil and I excelled in our last show, of course. So we've got the pitch is set up behind us, and it's looking immaculate as always here at the DW Stadium. We've got the goal here, which will be in front of the Brighton supporters, who you've got a lot coming down this afternoon. We've got a few of the balls from the kit man as well, Dave Mitten, which we're very thankful for. We know the score, Neil, so you can go first, and we'll see if you can find the back of the net. Let's try and see if we can move this move the tail back with the help of Nick Taylor. Thank you very much.
Obviously, we've got the footwork ready for this.
So, Neil, I'll let you go first. You can set the bar low. And,
if this goes
see
in,
how we get on.
I've been practicing all week.
It's not bad, Neil.
No.
But it's
not
one
good,
of those
though.
that it starts well and then trails off. Let's see if Paul's still got it. No pressure, Paul.
Still got it.
Can't give you any tips, unfortunately.
It's a long way.
It is. That's pony.
It is a long way.
You got your footing now, Neil.
Yeah, I know where I'm aiming now. Unbelievably out there.
It's not too bad. A little bit more on it. It can't bounce, by the way.
15 years ago, hamstrings.
Yeah, what's that?
15 years ago, hamstrings might help.
Excuses are coming out then.
Those shoes are too nice to be kicking a football.
That's well short.
You're putting swerve on and everything.
It's moving, Neil.
What the goal is or the ball? That's in.
You've been for a warm up.
No, it's not. Oh,
It's as close as we've come. Side netting as well. It's as close as we've come in the 2 games we've played now, isn't it? Be some celebrations
sadly,
if we get one in. Won't there?
I'm on the pitch.
Oh, I need to get on the weights, I think.
It's just pulling again, isn't it?
It's a long way.
How many have we got left down there? We've got one more. We've got.
What? This is the last one each, is it?
Might be a chance for one more.
That's in.
No.
What do you mean,
I
no?
don't know.
What do you mean, no?
Yes! It's in there. Good stuff.
This is why I never ever took a corner.
Last go then.
Oh
dear.
Shanked it again.
Finished on a low. Well,
Well done.
end
Never easy.
this afternoon's show. Thank you both for joining us.
I can't believe
Paul
how
as well
bad
for
that
making
was.
the journey up. It was
It's not easy, is it?
not a great end in the end for Paul, but good one for Neil.
I know where
Found
they
the
are.
back of the net.
Thank
You
you.
do know where it is after all. Thanks for joining us this morning, everybody. Have a great afternoon. Follow the game, of course, on wiganathletic.com from kickoff. We'll have our Cover It live service running as always, and you can join Neil and myself for full match commentary from 2 o'clock as well. Enjoy the afternoon, enjoy the game, and join us next time on Matchday Live.